Where am I?
It's all right, son. Don't panic. It's over.
I'm back? Where are the guests?
I invited them to go up to their rooms. They're resting. Don't worry.
Gregory?
You should have chosen your allies better, my son.
You mean you planned to get rid of him since the beginning?
For years, Louis. Come now. Would I really have risked everything at such a one-sided conference without having a trump card up my sleeve?
But what about the conference rules?
To hell with the rules. From now on, I'm only following my own rules. Things are going to change, you'll see. However, I expect you to stop your childish games and follow me. I gave you time to find your feet with Gregory, but things are going to get serious now, and I expect a little more loyalty from you.
What did you do to him?
I devoured his soul.
But I didn't see you use the Holy Lance.
Indeed not. I didn't need to. Can't you guess how I did it? The Lance of Longinus is just a vessel, Louis. It could have been any object that had the blood of Christ on it. The blood of an ancient, more precisely. But I didn't need the blood of an ancient. You see, I have been in dear Lord Mortimer's physical body for longer than my brother has been in Sir Gregory Holmes. Therefore, I am an ancient, Louis.
He was your brother. Why did you kill him? He never meant you any harm.
Oh, Louis, I am exhausted. Let's talk about this later.
No, tell me why now. I want to understand.
Stubborn as a mule. After centuries of trying to convince him, I assure you I had no other option than to do away with him. He would never have allowed me to depose our father. In the past, he had already opposed me, and sometimes very violently. He seemed to you like a man of peace, because you did not represent any danger to him. But I can assure you, he was not. With anything to do with our father, he would be merciless. In any case, what's done is done. I'm going to rest in the dining room. Join me there when you're ready. The time has come to end this little antisocial gathering.
The bastard. He planned to kill his own brother all along. I absolutely must stop him. Holmes told me to go to Elizabeth's room. That I'd find an ally there. I'd better go there straight away. Monsieur Johann van Woolner. President George Washington. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Duke Manuel Godoy. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you. Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. So I have to link into the ether. What does that mean? Right. Let's start by trying to clear my mind. I have to get rid of any ideas that might distract me. Right. Think about home. Come on, Louis, concentrate. Nothing's happening. That can't be right. Come on, Louis. You've already been there. Concentrate. Remember what you felt. Oh, there it is. I sense something. It's getting closer.
So, you have come back. I'm rather surprised. Coming and going in the ether is not something that every novice can do.
Yes. Let's say some things have changed.
Indeed. I sense a difference somewhere. An upheaval in the equilibrium of the ether.
Sir Gregory is well and truly dead.
No, that cannot be.
William used his own blood.
No, that is impossible. The wicked traitor. He waited to be in an older mortal coil than his brothers. What an abomination of our nature. I will make him pay for his arrogance 100-fold.
I'm here to find an ally. Would you...
Gregory brought you to me. Be glad you just found the very ally you were looking for.
I'm listening.
William has to pay for what he did. He had no right. No one must ever attack a member of one's own family. That is the law. If you don't want to be involved in all this, let me enter your mind. When the time comes, I will just step in.
You mean like with Elizabeth?
Elizabeth was not part of our family. She didn't get any choice.
But you can't say it worked out well for her. What's to say that once inside he won't stay there?
If I ask my children to respect the rules, then I must do so as well. So, do you accept my proposal?
I'm sorry, I'd rather not get involved in your disputes. I understand that you're mad at him, but I refuse to let you use me to get at him.
Young fool.
Goodbye.
No! Come back, or you too shall feel my wrath!
I have no other choice. I must face Mortimer alone. The Holy Lance is all I need. Let's get this over with. Right, now's the time to join Mortimer. I won't be able to go back after... Here we go.
Ah, there you are at last.
Excuse me, Sir Gregory's death...
Must have upset your plans. Yes, I should think so, given that you gave him your allegiance. But I did warn you to choose sides carefully.
But you didn't tell me you were planning to kill him, you snake. You wish to speak to me?
Yes, but before we begin, I would like you to give me back the Holy Lance, please. Now that Gregory is gone, you won't be needing it anymore, and I prefer to put it back in its place.
I no longer have it. Didn't Monsieur Bonaparte give it back to you?
No. So, the rascal stole it from you, did he?
It's not something I'm proud to admit, but yes, he thought I was trying to rob you and that it would compromise the conference.
How typical of him. This conference will have been one of the most eventful I've ever known.
I'll just have to take your word for it.
Before I get to why we're here, you must know that I've been watching you very closely over these past few days. I was impressed by your intervention to prevent Peru from killing himself. You remind me of myself when I was starting out. As far as the door of my crypt is concerned, it is a pity that you lost your hand while trying to open it. You succeeded in telling the Hillsborough twins apart. Even for me, that wasn't an easy thing to do at first. I remain proud of what you achieved for me by falsifying that letter to the Pope on behalf of Piaggi, because I know that was not an easy task. But the important thing is that you escaped the worst with Volner, because he could have killed you when you were in the guise of Piaggi.
Yes, it was a bit touch and go.
Which leads me to a chat about what I envisage for you now. You are the chosen one, Louis. The one I've been waiting for all this time.
Thank you,
We are going to be able to become one.
I don't quite follow you.
Be proud of yourself, son. For you are the one I have chosen to be my next mortal coil.
But what about me? Am I imagining things, or did he just tell me to my face that he's going to eat me?
Unfortunately, no, you won't survive the transfer. But I want you to know that I only select my bodies from my own children, and that you are the one who has impressed me most. It's far from being my first time, as you can imagine. I didn't think it was possible to find a more promising son than dear Augustus. You can be very proud of yourself.
Wait a second, hang on. Do you realize what you're saying? Are you insane?
Oh, come, my son. Let's not end everything on a bad note, please.
Son of a bitch! He's not going to get away with this so easily. I must make him get closer to me.
Come now, don't complicate things.
Wait, I have something else you want.
Well, look at that. You found it. Decidedly, you are very resourceful, Louis. You impress me right up to the very last. For Al-Azif, I am willing to get closer. No! No, not now! You've ruined everything!
Like father, like son.
Von Volner tightened his political and spiritual grip on King Frederick William. On the death of the king in 1797, Johann retired with his wife to his country estate in order to continue his work on his theological and alchemical thesis. Manuel Godoy's close relationship with Napoleon enabled him to claim a part of Portugal, as well as the protection of France upon the fall of the kingdom. He died in the company of his beloved mistress Pepita after recovering all his titles and properties. Napoleon Bonaparte continued his political and military rise until his self-proclamation as emperor. His excessive ambition would cost the lives of 1,700,000 Frenchmen and leave France poorer and weaker than ever before. Deported and imprisoned by the British on St. Helena Island, He died on the 5th of May, 1821, as an exile to general indifference. During his second term, George Washington had to deal with a number of rebellions. He enraged public opinion by building close diplomatic links with Great Britain, which forced him to give up a third term in office. He retired to his country estate until his death, without being able to implement the annexation of the highly coveted Louisiana Territory. The Duchess, through her relationship with the Crown, made it possible for Great Britain to build closer links to the United States on both the diplomatic and the commercial fronts. She became inseparable from the Marchioness Cunningham, reputed for being the most influential mistress of King George IV of England, and whom she inducted into the Golden Order. His Eminence Piaggi, having successfully accomplished his mission, returned to His Holiness the Pope with full honors. Although all his ambitions had become possible, to the stupefaction of his entourage, the Cardinal preferred to retire to his Tuscan monastery, far from all political and diplomatic commitments. Fascinated by the techniques of exorcism and demonology, he dedicated the last years of his life to the study of Inquisition reports. Sarah de Richet never returned from her trip to the English Isles. Her disappearance spelled the end for the Golden Order, and was the object of gossip for just a few days at the court of France. On his return to Paris, Peyroux resigned from his posting as judge at the revolutionary courts. He withdrew to the south of France with his daughter until his death. Nothing more was ever heard of Lord Mortimer. His sudden disappearance was a topic of conversation in the European courts, but only for a few months.